Hi everybody. Today I'm going to talk about function and function is object. Okay, let's take a look at the sample. First line we create an empty object, right? And the second line we create an empty function. And let's run the code. Okay, it works. There not any exception here, so it's very simple, right? Okay, the first line we create an object, and the second line create a function, right? And the third line we create an property prof and add it to the object of. Okay, as you know, JavaScript is dynamic language, so we can create property dynamically, right? Okay, the fourth line we create an properties prof and we add it to the function. So the function here is used as an object. Okay, let's run the code to check if it works. Okay, it works. It means you can use a function as an object, and we can create a new property for that object. Okay, let's manage. Okay, let's check the code. Okay, the first line we create a function get element. It take one parameters. At this line, we create an empty object and assign a property case of get element function. It means you create the dynamic property case and assign the empty object to a new property, right? So let's run the code here. You see, we call the function get element and pass string to the function. So now go into the function body to see what is actually does. Okay, here we have an if statement, and the condition is the expression here. So we will check the case. We will check the cat object to see if the cat has the ref property, right? So if the condition is true, we return the value from the cache to to results variables, and otherwise we will get the values from the document, right? And here we call the get element by task name with the name we pass in, so we assign to the results. And before we execute the function, we uh, we store the result into the cache. Okay, the last line we return result. Okay, and look at the course at the last line. So we see we access directly the cache property, right? So we check if the rare exists, if the rare is existing on the cache object, right? So let's run the code. Okay, we receive the same result here, 76 and 76. It means uh it means after we after we call this function, the value rare names already cache into the property cache of get element, right? So the next for the next time we can access the rare values of the cache object directly. Okay, because we already store after we calling get element function. Okay, this way, right? Okay, let's imagine. Let's think of another situation, another scenarios, right? So what happened if we call this expression directly before we call this function? Okay, you can imagine like this because we if we call this expression if we call it expression first, so the rare properties is not created, right? Is not created, so it will return undefined. Okay, it will return undefined. So and the undefined mean we it doesn't have the length property, so it will throw exception. Okay, it's clear. Okay, let's move next. Okay, take a look at examples. Here we define a function is ram. So at the assertion statement here, we call the ice ram function and pass is 5. So let's into the function body. Here we check if the num mean the value we pass in the function, if is not equal 1, so the trans variables will receive true, otherwise ram will be 4. Okay, so we use the loop statement to loop through from 2 to the number less than num. Okay, and inside the for statement we check if the remainder of division I from num equals 0, we will assign range 4 and write out for loop. Okay, so the for loop will keep repeating until the I reach the number less than num. In this case, it will be loop from 2 to 4, right? Okay, and the second instruction here, we will directly access the case property of is ramp function. So let's run the code to see what happened. Okay, the first session is pass is mean 5 is RAM. Okay, but the second assertion is full deception here. Because cache is not created before, right? So we cannot access the cache. The cache property will return undefined, so we cannot access the value of undefined, right? Okay, let's move next. Now we improve the code. Let's see how we improve the code. Okay, we define each iframe, and at this line we create and properties for each iframe function. Okay, the case property receive the empty object, right? So inside the iframe function, let's see how we implement the code. Okay, before we implement, we run to the it's an the logic if when we do the main implementation, main code, we need to check from the cache of the each frame object. If the cache the value we look up already exists in the cache, so we return it directly. Yeah, so we don't need to run down, right? So we return it. Otherwise, if the numbers do not exist in the cache property, so we will run the main code here, right? Okay, and before we exit the function, we store the results into the cache here, right? So okay, it's understandable, right? Okay, let's move next. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.